What is the worst fast food chain? What type of people can you just not relate to? How do you think you're going to die? I'm probably gonna get old and fall down a large thing of stairs. I'll mysteriously disappear from a cruise ship. An investigation will reveal a $1 million life insurance policy was taken out on me. I don't know, probably an asthma attack. At least you're being realistic. I'd like to go out on action movie style in a big explosion or something, but I'll probably end up dying trying to pet something I shouldn't. Okay, white people, you see a mountain lion on a hike, you don't touch it, you leave. Apparently, when elephants get old or sick and are about to die, they wander off by themselves away from their pack so they don't have to watch them die. I'll do something similar, but go out in a blaze of glory. Without revealing your actual age, what's something you remember that if you told a younger person, they wouldn't understand? Haven't seen anyone mention this yet. Calling the movie theater to hear an automated recording tell you what's playing and at what time. I have a specific memory of doing this for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, getting a disc in the mail that allowed you access to the internet. Ah, good old AOL, baby. Calling collect for a ride home. You had to be quick when it asked for your name. The sound of the tape cassette whirling while you wait for your game to load. Making mixtapes by recording songs from the radio. Hey, crack open the wind wing window. The what? Maybe I am too young. The classical sound of dial-up internet. I was lucky enough to not have dial-up internet, but that sound is just burned into my brain for some reason. If you missed an episode, you missed it. Unless you recorded it on your VHS, going to the grocery store to get your photos developed. You still have to do that if you have a disposable camera. Smoking area for the kids in high school. No, that's still a thing. It's just called the bathroom, and it's called vaping. People who fart loudly in public bathrooms, what is the secret to your amazing confidence? One time at an airport, I was peeing at the urinal, and this dude in the stall was farting and crapping so aggressively that I couldn't stop laughing. I'm immature. And he started laughing from inside the stall, too. I hope he's still doing okay. He may have had some gastric issues, LOL. I fart to freshen the air. I would rather smell my shit than a stranger's. That's called asserting dominance. It's a bathroom. Am I supposed to save it for the elevator? Sometimes with the rain comes the thunder. If you can't fart in the bathroom, then where can you? Under the covers just seconds before your wife pulls back the sheet to get in bed. Good old Dutch oven. Embrace it. Moan loudly when you're doing so. Be proud. What is something popular in your country that you absolutely don't have interest in? American football. I just don't care for it. It's boring to watch. You can, come kill me. I don't care. Skiing. I'm Swiss. I know how to do it. I've done a lot of it, but no thanks. Gender reveal party. They really need to stop because who cares? Like, it's a baby. You should be excited at that. Reality TV shows. Listen, I know it's garbage, but I like to eat garbage. Disney products. The hardest part with that, you can't escape. Disney owns everything. Let's pretend each country in the world is a guest at a party. What are they doing at the party? Nobody noticed that Malta showed up. Who? Republic of Moldova is explaining everyone who it is. Germany is the next door neighbor. We came over to complain about the noise, printed copy of the HOA rules and regulations in hand. Canada is telling everyone which actors are Canadian. Canada also arrived 10 minutes early and waited in their car to come in exactly on time because being even a minute late might be taken as a slight. Finland has drank themselves to the point where social awkwardness has been replaced with an urgent need to tell everyone about all the times they beat Sweden in ice hockey. Finland is climbing on a statue and singing their national anthem because they heard their name mentioned in a conversation. The Philippines already brings out their bags and getting food to go. Philippines is also the one hogging the karaoke machine. Spain hasn't even left home yet, but has told everyone they are on the way. Austria being sad about having met all the guests in the past but not being remembered by anybody. Greece fighting with Turkey, then passing out hugged, then fighting again. Aussies are in charge of the barbecue while handing out tinnies to everyone. So they are out back? I see what you did there. What has consistently been getting shittier? Social media. Well, of course, advertisements. Not only the quality of advertisements, but frequency has skyrocketed. For example, when you watch a basketball game, these motherfuckers put an ad in between free throw attempts. Everything is presented by company XYZ. Everything has some sort of advertisement connected to it, and it's infuriating. Yeah, ads are so annoying. Anyways, let's have a word from our sponsor. I'm kidding. Halloween decorations. Used to be able to buy metal gates, concrete/plaster tombstones, and many other creative decorations that would last you several years, maybe even decades. Now all you can get are flimsy styrofoam and plastic tombstones meant to last only one Halloween. Looking at you, Spirit Halloween. Mainstream network television programming. Well, does anybody even watch it anymore? Trash and litter along roadways. In our area, trash accumulates faster than cleanup crews can deal with it. It's so easy, people. Just hold your trash for like a minute till you find a can. The quality of search results on Google. They're all ads, and SEO for relevance seems to have completely broken down. What's a deep, dark rabbit hole to research when bored? The saved section of your Reddit user profile. I've saved so much and then promptly forgot about it, just like I'm going to do with this thread. When I worked at a call center, we often had quiet times and the internet blocked most things. Unusual wiki articles kept me entertained for quite some time though. It's full of random, strange things. Feral children. I had to stop reading these accounts because it made me too sad seeing over and over that the rescuers almost always killed the kids' animal families and the children pretty much never had any quality of life after. Money laundering and how laundered money flows around the world. Most info is public from government agencies like the CIA and State Department. This should give you an hour or two. List of unusual deaths. Not much of a death guy, so I'm gonna skip that. Prion diseases. Every single one is weird and dark. It includes cannibalism and family curses, and deers walking on two legs, and industrial farming plus forced cow cannibalism. The history of bananas. Now you've piqued my interest a little bit. The domino effect that led up to World War I and then later World War II. It's interesting to learn about, but it's just a clusterfuck of easily preventable situations. What is the most boring hobby a person can have? Using magic erasers to clean grunge and dirt off anything and everything. Hand me a pack of them and I will have the entire house looking like it was just built. I literally don't stop until I either run out of erasers or if I'm told to take a break. My boyfriend said he watched me for hours straight scrub our railing on our stairs and couldn't understand how I wasn't bored by 10 minutes in. I didn't even know that much time had passed. Well, at least it's like a useful hobby. I collect dust. Hang on. So you're telling me my shelf wrote this answer? Reading obituaries in order to cross out the names in the phone book. Involuntary collections. My grandmother had a bunch of white porcelain cats when I grew up. Later I found out the only reason she had them was because people kept giving them to her thinking she collected them. She just didn't want to be rude. My dad likes to sit in the garage for hours on end in a lawn chair, drink beer, and watch traffic go by. Boring as shit, but he's zen as f***. Look, it's just what dads do. You can't blame the man. Sometimes I stare at my guinea pig and attempt to predict when she will yawn. Audiences are profoundly bored by this. What are the signs of an oncoming yawn? A twitch of a whisker, that 1,000-yard stare. Having a hobby that you might think you like, but you're only doing it to impress someone. Fantasy curling. Think I'm gonna have to do some research on that. What vehicle do you automatically assume is being driven by a total asshole? BMWs every single time. Anything scrawled with political cultist messaging. Any vehicle that has the sack hanging off the back. My horse and I are offended. Why are you hanging off the back of your horse? That can't be comfortable. White van with no plate and tinted windows that follows me around for 5 blocks at 3 in the morning. A Hummer. I live in Europe and that car is absolutely ridiculous and you are not going to find parking for that monstrosity in your life. The Honda that wakes up the whole neighborhood pushing 50. I'll never understand people wanting loud, stupid, obnoxious cars. Like, fix it. It's purposely broken at that point. Anything with a Punisher skull on it. A big truck rolling coal. Back when I was in high school, I saw some losers with their giant trucks roll coal on the special needs kids, and that was the first time I wanted to murder someone. Tricycle. You know it's some entitled toddler. Not all Karens drive white Porsche Cayennes, but usually it's a Karen coming out of a white Porsche Cayenne. What do you wish Hollywood would stop doing? Showing incorrect CPR. Yeah, I should probably brush up on that just in case, since all I know is movies. Milking everything dry. For real, I'm getting so sick of reboots and like remakes every couple years. Please, more originality. Having a main character whose job/income level does not match their home or lifestyle at all. Forcing a love story that makes no sense in a movie that has nothing to do with romance. Spoiling the film in the trailers. Remakes of good movies, I don't understand why they remake good movies when there are are tons of flops that have potential that they could remake, making it impossible to hear dialogue. We're looking at you, Nolan. Stop having people take like one bite of what they ordered, then leave. It's a small thing, but I've never seen it happen in real life. Treating child stars like pretending people can actually have a conversation in a bar without yelling. Yeah, it's nearly impossible. Casting the same 10 actors in everything. Let's get some new blood in there. Like me. Please hire me. What conspiracy is just straight up false? Well, I mean, most of them, but let's see what people say. The BS about Avril Lavigne being dead and having been replaced by a clone. The guy who posted the original story literally came forward to say it was 100% false, and he also posted it to prove a point about how gullible people were when it came to things written on the internet. I never thought it was real, but I just thought it may be because there was the one about Paul McCartney too, so you never know. Bermuda Triangle. The second ships got GPS, the whole Bermuda Triangle mystery just ceased to exist. Oof. JFK shot first. Yeah, it was definitely self-defense on the guy that shot JFK, I suppose. I'm honestly starting to believe that the whole Santa Claus bringing us presents thing is pretty suspicious. Flat Earth. Takes almost no effort to disprove it. I just want to say that running into a mirror won't teleport you into an alternate world, but record your attempt because that is hilarious. Chuck E. Cheese recycling pizza. I don't even know how that one got started. And truthfully, I don't care who's going to Chuck E. Cheese. The larger the conspiracy, the less plausible it is. I strongly believe that birds are, in fact, real. Nah, you're crazy. Birds. What are you even talking about? You're crazy. Australia isn't real. I literally live in Australia. Oh yeah, that's just what you want us to believe, that oh, you live there, so it must be real. Sure. Redditors born before 1990. What trivial skill do you possess that no one uses anymore? How to load paper into a dot matrix printer. I don't think I've ever seen one of those in my entire life. I can wire 2 VCRs together to pirate movies onto blank videotapes. God, I actually wish I had that skill. I can develop and print black and white film. That is another really useful skill. Lifting the other phone in the house up silently and breathing quietly and not laughing to be able to listen in on your family's phone conversations. Not to brag, but I once made it all the way to Oregon without my party dying. You're lying. No, somebody got measles along the way. I can remember several landline phone numbers. Oh god, I forgot what mine was. It doesn't matter. I can load slides into a projector for a presentation. I can also prepare transparent sheets, acetate/overheads, for a different type of presentation. Use a pencil to fix my tape of MC Hammer. Hate it when it gets eaten up by the tape recorder. If we go bowling, I can keep score on a sheet of paper. I feel like that's not that hard. Navigating with a paper map. God, it is impossible now. We are definitely spoiled with GPS mapping. I can French cuff jeans. Is that the same thing as tight roll? Yes it is. Also, hilariously, called f***ing. What's the most passive-aggressive thing you can bring to a potluck? Paper napkins from Taco Bell. Empty Tupperware containers to take home the leftovers. Store-bought cookies with the reduced/day-old sticker visible. Well, someone in my grandma's garden club brought 8 deviled eggs to a potluck and my grandma started calling her 4 eggs behind her back. So probably that. We went to a Thanksgiving dinner where everyone was supposed to bring something. The guy who was supposed to bring mashed potatoes walked in with a bag of spuds. Not cooked or anything, just raw, 20 minutes before dinner. Oh, buddy, you can't do that. Your recipe for potato salad with the title, Better Potato Salad. An empty pizza box set out on the table, so everyone opens it as they go through the line. Your entire family and no food. A bowl of pre-mixed M&Ms and Skittles. Oh, you're evil. That's just mean. 1 can of Spam, missing the key that opens it. Truck drivers. What is the craziest thing you have seen looking down into passenger vehicles? There was a dude playing the violin while driving in rush hour traffic. I don't know if he was really driving if it was stuck in traffic. Saw a lady reading a book at night with a flashlight by laying it on the steering wheel while doing 70 miles per hour on the highway. Someone needs to tell her about audiobooks. Lady in the car ahead of me kept looking down at the seat beside her, literally every 10 seconds or so. I was thinking, geez, how often do you need to check that map? This was way before cell phones. She pulled into the right lane to get on the expressway, and as I pulled up on her left and glanced over, I realized she was knitting, needle in each hand as as she loosely held the wheel. Paper pattern lying on the seat. Some people just don't deserve to have a license. I was on the second floor of a double-decker bus and saw a goat in someone's living room through their window. You didn't ask me, but I have nowhere else to share that. Not a truck driver, but once saw a dude playing the trumpet while driving. Not a euphemism, actually playing an instrument. I saw a woman in a convertible scratching like she had an ant's nest in her underwear. We were stopped at lights. She stopped and really slowly looked up at me. I just smiled at her. I'm sure that was the longest wait at a red light in the history of traffic lights. Tour bus driver saw a dude in a full gimp suit tied to the passenger seat in a passing car once. Also, I'd get cars falling in beside me to catch a few minutes of the onboard movie. You could see them staring up into the bus windows. Or maybe they were trying to snag some free Wi-Fi off the bus. Which villain was 100% in the right to become a villain? Megamind. Dr. Doof. Bro had such a life and even worse parents. He's a kind guy and wants his daughter to have a good life. He's unironically an inspiration. Yeah, I mean, to have your parents not even show up to your own birth? Rough. From Tom and Jerry, Tom. There is a rodent in the house. Thus, that is his responsibility. Frankenstein's monster. If I cannot inspire love, I will cause fear. Squidward. As a kid, you see him as an asshole, but as an adult, he's just some guy trying to get away from his annoying, loud neighbors. Jaws. I mean, he's a shark. Truly, those beachgoers were invading in his home, the ocean. The witch from The Wizard of Oz. The red slippers truly belonged to her, not some girl who mysteriously landed and killed her sister. Jason from Friday the 13th. He was a mentally challenged 12-year-old when two camp counselors let him drown so they could have right on the dock as he called for help. Now he lives in a shed in the woods, and every year, truckloads of teenagers show up at his house to have sex, do and play loud music. 100% on Jason's side. Medusa. I guess I agree. I mean, most of, like, ancient Greece, whatever, thought she was just ugly, so she's like, okay, I'll just kill everyone. I suppose she didn't kill. Well, she kills. I don't know. The Grunge. The Whovillians are a menace to society. I mean, yeah, he was just ostracized from his community because he looked weird and acted kind of weird. What do you envy the most about the opposite sex? Big boobs. Sorry. I think girls just, they can look prettier and I can't, and that sucks. If I magically became a woman for a day, I'd like to have one of their organs. Yeah, and women would like to have them too if you could ever give them one. No periods, ever. Done. Says the one who used 3 periods to tell us.
I'm jealous of girls because they get to wear dresses.
Todd Flanders, The Simpsons. They can pee anywhere. While this is true, I will be arrested if I do it outside. When a woman has boobs, it's normal. When I have boobs, I'm just fat. Yoga pants. They seem comfortable enough to lounge around in at home, yet not too casual that you can't go outside while wearing them. You can wear them both to lounge around and also do exercise in. They look attractive too. I wish there were a male equivalent. They just seem like the perfect leg wear. What is a popular food that you think sucks? Burgers that are like a foot high and overflowing with buns way too small. Impossible to eat like a normal burger unless I learn to unhinge my jaw, and it's just a messy, annoying experience. Might as well just order a bowl of meat and bread. Overflowing milkshakes in mason jars with lots of extras. Too sweet and messy to drink. Bougie tacos. I don't want a $10 taco. It's no better than legitimately well-cooked meat with the usual extra types of toppings. Give me a decent steak or al pastor street taco. The elevated hamburgers trend where it's piled high with bullshit served on a plank and costs $27. Energy drinks. Not really a food, so try again. Friggin' kombucha. It's everywhere and it's terrible. I still haven't tried it, so I can't really weigh in here, but it freaks me out that there's like goo in there. What's the most unreliable source of information that people use anyway? Screen grabs from social media sites that are making claims without citations or sources. Here's a link to a Wikipedia article on propaganda techniques. I feel like a lot of people need to peruse it and learn about it. This has become so common on all forms of social media for any demographic or category of users that it has basically become the default way that we communicate with each other online. It's not going to stop by blaming an other since we're all partaking and propagating it. Social media. Yeah, I think the last answer kind of summed this one up. A lot of misinformation everywhere. r/AskReddit. r/AskScience too. I've seen some flat out wrong answers get upvoted just because they sounded good. I would say punditry as opposed to reading actual reporting reporting. Most people don't know the difference. Having studied journalism in school, I can attest that half the reason people don't know the difference is because a lot of future reporters themselves are hardly being taught anymore. My first year of journalism classes, we learned about stuff like the inverted pyramid, finding good sources, etc. Every year after that, we learned about how to use the internet. That was at a different school, but it still felt like the winds had changed rather abruptly, and they pretty much told us they were teaching us differently because the industry was headed in a different direction. We weren't learning to write newspaper articles anymore. We were learning about glorified blogs, tabloids. Okay, but if you ever thought they were reputable sources, I don't know, you're already lost. Facebook. Question everything you see on Facebook, especially if it's from your great aunt Margaret. What TV series isn't worth finishing? Once Upon a Time. It literally repeats the entire first season's plot. The Flash. Most DC TV shows, can't be bothered. We really should have more limited series. Some shows have premises that are good for a season or two that get ruined by dragging it out for multiple seasons. Heroes. Watch the first season and then stop. House of Cards. Just stop watching on the last episode of the penultimate season and pretend the last one is still in the works. The last season is insulting on so many levels. The Walking Dead. Gave up a while ago. Don't even know if it is finished or not yet. Nope, it's still going, I'm pretty sure. Promise Neverland. Stop after season 1. I've been meaning to get into it, so I guess this is a good warning. That 70s Show. Generally, people say that Randy was the reason for the ending, but in my opinion, the show shouldn't have tried to change the original concept, or at least not drag it out. Season 7 ending could have worked fine for a series finale. Suits. It becomes very repetitive after a while. Riverdale. From what I know of Riverdale, which is not a lot, it seems like they just don't care anymore and they're just making it up. And it seems fun for the trash factor. Grey's Anatomy. Show is a never-ending show and I couldn't get past season 4. Oh, that box set, whenever it comes out, is going to be huge. What is a cooking-related red flag in a relationship? My ex thought that browning ground meat meant leaving it in the fridge till it turned brown. Oh no, honey. Oh baby, you can't think that. I knew a guy who dropped his $1 bottle of spaghetti sauce, jar broke in the bag. He goes and makes spaghetti with sauce. We ask if that is the same sauce. Yup, he just pulled the chunks of glass out of it. I do not eat that spaghetti or anything he cooked after that. Homie really said, oh, food safety? Never heard of her. When they put your best knives in the dishwasher. Well, yeah, if they're your knives, then sure, it's a little rude. I once decided to cook for a girl I was dating. It was pretty fresh at the time, third time I had seen her. I thought it might be nice to cook, have a wine and chat, etc., as you do. While I was cooking, she told me to stop talking so much and hurry up because she was hungry in a rude, annoyed tone. That turned me off to the point I didn't see her again after that night. I have a roommate who put applesauce on everything he eats. So yeah, that's probably it. Medium rare chicken, chicken ceviche, chicken sashimi. I suppose they just decided to play chicken with borderline raw chicken. My brother told my friend she makes very nice ice water. That's almost like saying, oh, you have a great face for radio. Not clicking the tongs before using them. No, that just shows heavy discipline in the craft. It's almost 2023. What has no reason to still exist? Me. Whoa, yeah. Stickers that are impossible to remove from the thing I buy. Stickers. I just want a normal printer that doesn't suck. Convenience fees when paying bills online. For real, it's no longer a convenience, it's just how things are. Non-resealable cereal bags. Seriously, when are we gonna get on that and just make them all Ziploc? My husband says this daily. How the F is it almost 2023 and I still have shitty cell service? We don't live in the middle of nowhere. We're about 30 minutes away from a big city and our town has 30 to 40,000, not counting all the people who live in between suburbs. Cell companies show perfect signal maps. Lies. Total lies. Those pop-up ads. While I was looking for a car recently, I saw the most egregious version where the ad just starts gliding across the screen until you click it to go away, just to make sure you see it. Celebrity worship. One can admire someone, but going to their house, having cameras on their faces, running on stages, etc. are just weird. LOL. Fake pockets on girls' pants. Oh my god, yes. How are women even supposed to do anything? Like, how? And we haven't changed this. Those websites that require I subscribe or sign in to view the article. Yeah, New York Times, I'm not getting a subscription. I just wanted to see what, like, the racist thing was. Daylight savings time. Yeah, can we get rid of that? Like, isn't that only a thing we do in America because we're dumb? If someone offered you a box with everything you've ever lost, what's the first thing you're looking for? The cassette tape that had the Apollo moon landing audio on one side and the made-up stories my mom recorded for me when she had to go into the hospital for 10 days. Every night she read me a poem from one of her books of poetry, a story from a book called 365 Bedtime Stories, sang a couple of songs, and then made up a story for me. The made-up stories took place in a world of her imagination and had a regular cast of characters, including me and my stuffed animals. It was most likely lost when my basement flooded and we had to pitch out a bunch of boxes that had mildew. I would give almost anything to hear her tell the stories one more time. My red iPod that had a ton of music on it. I know who took it too. F you, Nick. Come on, Nick. Party foul. You don't take someone's iPod. I've lost so many things that I won't be able to find what I'm looking for in that box. First edition Pokemon cards. They're worth so much now, and I had shiny Charizard, among others. I have no idea where it is though. The $20 I dropped at a Toys R Us when I was 10 years old. To me, at age 29, $20 is still a significant sum of money. When I was 10 years old, $20 was a fortune. I had high hopes for that sum of money. Holographic Blastoise. Hopefully it's still in mint condition in that box. My old slide phone. It got lost in the fourth dimension of a couch. My Tamagotchi that fell out of my pocket when my family went to Legoland when I was 8. Oh my god, that has to be the most 90s to 2000s thing I've ever heard. My dignity. Oops, sorry bud, you're not gonna find it in there. What is something very popular that you have absolutely no interest in? Becoming extremely diehard fans for an idol group or probably anything. BTS. Sorry, I'm just so sick. Chasing squirrels around the yard and barking at them once they run up a tree. Seems to be all the rage with my dog though. Following influencers. Can we really say people love following influencers? YouTube family channels. Some of those children will probably go to resent their parents. Absolutely. I mean, those parents are using them for money from a very, very young age. TikTok. I just don't want it and never interested to see what the people there are doing. Although I am aware that if I decided to install it, I might get addicted to it. So no thank you either way. The Bachelor and Bachelorette TV shows. Once again, I am allowed to eat trash if I want to. Vaping. It is weird, the weird horseshoe that we're going in of, oh, cigarettes are bad for kids, so kids start vaping, and then now kids are like, vaping is bad, so maybe they'll smoke cigarettes, and it's bad. Just don't do it ever. Any of it. Multiplayer video games. I don't want to engage with others, mostly toxic, people for my entertainment. Give me solid single-player experiences with an intriguing story instead of little kids screaming what they want to do with my mother. I definitely see where you're coming from, but a lot of those multiplayer games are the biggest money makers for companies, and you know our big companies. Anime. I really have tried, but it does not interest me at all. That's fine. If you like reading comics, you could read the manga. Whoa. Snapchat in particular. Its interface is terrible. Nerdy fact, it's on purpose so us oldies won't ruin it, like we did with Facebook. Harry Styles. I like some of his songs, but I am kind of getting sick that twink is the beauty standard. What type of people can you just not relate to? Scammers of any kind, especially those who prey on the elderly. You have to be a certain sick type of person to be able to be a scammer. The ones who are super selfish and mean but are somehow well liked. It's because they know they're manipulators. That's it. That's all it is. Ones who make sly jabs and play it off as a joke. People who find it acceptable to not flush a public toilet. The only instance where it's okay is if the toilet is broken, because what are you gonna do? People who mistreat their friends and then pretend like they're not the problem. People who shit on waitstaff, and people who pronounce milk as malk. Why are you pooping on waitstaff? Yeah, you're evil. Ones that throw fits in restaurants or against retail workers. Absolutely no patience. Go throw your tantrum at home. Like, seriously, get out of here. People who litter. Once again, super easy. Hold it until you find the trash. It's so easy. What is the worst fast food chain? The sad, sad decline of Pizza Hut. Back in the 80s and early 90s, it used to be a place where you had pizza parties. You read your books to get a free personal pan pizza, then you started to cut corners. The tomato sauce tasted different, the crust was hard, it was greasy, and it just drove people away. Compare that to Domino's, that was literally the lowest tier of pizza, and Pizza Hut dominated them for years. Then Domino's hired Patrick Doyle as their CEO in 2010. They ran all those ads on focus groups and how they were going to improve their customer service and change their recipe. It all worked, and using tracking technology and GPS, Domino's went from the bottom of the barrel to the king of the hill. Now Pizza Hut is at the bottom. Tacos, tacos, tacos in Reno, Nevada. There was a guy on roller skates in the bathroom trying to sell jobs for $2. Ew, gross. In Reno? Where in Reno though? What's a cross street where I could find this place? Gonna give a curveball answer. Subway. Since they dropped the $5 footlong model, they are just overpriced and underwhelming subs. Go to Jersey Mike's, Firehouse, good God, come here. Best subs for a chain in my opinion. Ike's, Love, and Sandwiches, if one is near you, or some really good mom and pop deli shops. There is nothing redeeming about their subs. I've given Subway so many chances, but nope, no, never again. KFC, they have gone way downhill. Their chicken is like breaded skin, so greasy, and sides are for 1, not 4? Thank God for Popeyes. Burger King, I don't even know why, but everything just doesn't taste the way you want it to. Burger King, have it in a way. No one should mention Popeye. Well, unfortunately somebody did, so wah wah. I'm kind of hungry now, so with that, this is the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, my name has been Brandon, and I will see you in another one. Skedaddle, get out of here. Go on, go away.